welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 196. And yes, I am filming down in my kitchen again because I've got so much to share with you. Yeah, lots of acquisitions, lots of stuff. So it's going to be a very yarny podcast today. So let's get started. I also wanted to say a very special thank you to all of you who watched my first live that I did on Tuesday. I was a nervous wreck. I really was. Did you notice I talked faster than I normally do? I was like talking really, really quick, and then my mouth got dry and I was out of breath. And then I didn't know what to talk about. I was just such a nervous wreck. So thank you all for hanging in there with me and for all of your kind and encouraging words. For those of you who watched it on the replay when it came back as a regular video, I really do appreciate all your support and encouragement. So thank you so much. I have two finished objects. I finished my divine hat. I was almost done last week and I just had to put the rim on or the brim on, and I hope it fits her. This is for my youngest granddaughter who will be 9 next month. The first time I made this, I made it exactly according to the pattern, and it was actually big on me. And there's like 15 of in the actual pattern, there's 15 of these repeats. And I changed it. I think I did 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I did 12. So I cut it back by 3. I should have just cut it back by 2. It's a little snug, but I did measure, well, no, I didn't. I measured the circumference of the hat. And then I was like, I need to borrow a 9-year-old's head to see if this is going to fit. My granddaughter and my son and his family live out in Ohio. I won't see them till I give this to her. So I have no way of, well, actually we will be out there. We will be out there hopefully sometime this fall, but I don't want to give away the present, but maybe I should measure her head. That's going to be bizarre, but maybe I should measure her head while I'm there to make sure it's going to fit. But I did Google and find out that the average 9-year-old has a 20 to 21 inch circumference head. This is 20 inches, and she's tiny. She's little. So, yeah. So hopefully this will fit. So, yeah, maybe when we go out, I will measure her head, and she'll think Grandma's crazy. But the only thing that turned out weird is, look where my color change was. Right here in the rim, I had this one little spot. So I'm not going to worry about it. I don't want to unwind the yarn and go all the way through to try to get that little teeny bit out there. Not too much worried about it. She won't care. We'll just tell her it just marks where the back of the hat is. It's like a label. Just think of it as a label. So anyway, this is the first one. Like I said, this is the divine hat. And then my second one is the Stormy Waters hat. This one I did make to full size because this is for my oldest granddaughter, and she is 17. So I just based it off of the adult size because she's adult sized. So here it is. And thank you for recommending. There were several of you who recommended this pattern to me. I have to say, out of all the hats I made, this was the easiest. I was watching something on YouTube and I just had another tab open with the tutorial that went to this hat, and I would watch to see what I was supposed to do one round, and then I'd go back to watching something on YouTube, and then I click back over and see what I had to do for the next row. And yeah, I like it. I think it's cute. I'll put it on. Well, I can't put it on. I've got my hair up in a bun. So if I do, I'll mess up my hair. Well, maybe I'll put it. Okay, let me take the bun out of my hair, and then I'll put my frizzy hair back up again. There it is. I'm not a hat person. I like them, although this one I could wear. A lot of hats that have like a ribbed section to them, they give me headaches. I've always had problems with stocking hats. But this one actually is not too tight because it doesn't have ribbing on it. Might be a possibility. But so anyway, there it is. The Stormy Waters hat. Okay, got my hair back together again now. So now let me show you what I'm working on. I have 2 whips that I'm working on right now. They're both knitting. The first one is the sweater that I've been working on for a while now. And this is where I was last week. So I've gone up a little bit and I am getting very close to separating for the sleeves. I'm pretty much getting ready to separate for the sleeves. Maybe an inch or so to go yet, but yeah. So anyway, there is that. Nothing, it's just going around and around and around. So there's nothing real spectacular about that. Now we'll come to the item that has been the joke all week long about why I was ripping out a pocketbook. Okay, so first I'll tell you a little background about the pocketbook. Okay, the yarn that I had, and here it is. This is what's left. The yarn was from Knit Crate several years ago. It's 100% wool and it's a super bulky. When I got this, I didn't like any of the patterns that went along with it. And Karen of SSK Yarners said, hey, I'm going to make mine into a pocketbook and felt it. And I was like, oh, that sounds neat. So she's like, I'm coming up with my own pattern. I'll send you the pattern of what I did. So she did, and I made it. And it was cute and adorable, but I never used it because I tried one time and I carry too much junk. I need to have like less stuff that I carry around in my pocketbook. But I didn't. So a while later, I saw the yarn on Knit Crate in their yarn shop. So I bought another skein of it thinking I'll rip out the pocketbook and remake it just bigger so that I can actually fit all of the junk that I carry with me. I honestly don't carry all that, I don't know, it's not like I have a heavy purse, but I use my pocketbook with work and I throw a lot of stuff into it that I'm carrying into work. So yeah, and I use one of those pocketbook organizers, so everything, because I like to have, I drive David crazy with like being organized, but I like things organized. So I have a pocket organizer where everything fits in all these little pockets. So that organizer's got to fit in my pocketbook because that's what makes it handy. I just grab the whole thing out and just plunk it into a next pocketbook. And I tend to carry tote bags for the most part. I don't like sectionally divided, the little pocketbooks that have like 3 sections to them. I don't like those. I like something that's big, open, dumping ground that I can just take that whole organizer and just plunk right down in there. So I started ripping the thing out, not realizing it was as felted as it was. I thought it was going to be a simple find the end and just go, and just rip the whole thing back. No, it was felted quite well, and it took me 12 hours to rip out 2 skeins. That's all it was, 2 skeins, a couple 100 yards. And yeah, it took forever. And some of you were laughing, going, what was it from Rumpelstiltskin? Is it gold? Why is this yarn so precious that you're spending that much time ripping it apart? It's because I didn't know if I didn't use the 2 skeins that were already felted, I had no clue what I was going to do with the brand new skein, and then I would end up with the same problem again of leftover yarn with nothing to do with it. So I got it all ripped out. I have almost finished reknitting it. So here is the top. It's all done in like garter and stockinette. So this top looks curling right now, but once I put it onto the handles, once it gets strung onto the handles, it won't look bad. So here it is. And this flap right here that you see that I'm working on, this is the very end. This is the bottom. So it's going to get sewn underneath like that. Now, this is, let me see if I can find it. This bottom part was felted. You can see it's got some fuzzy spots like right in here. And then you can see where the newer yarn is. And now I'm back into the felted. I put the new yarn in the middle to try to blend it a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to put this back through the wash to try to refelt it or not. So we'll see when I finish whether I try to felt it so it kind of blends together a little bit. But here's the thing that I'm running into. With the stuff that I ripped out, I was not going to be pulling an entire skein's worth of yarn out for every single stitch. So I would pull for a while and then I would have to cut it. So now I can't find one. I've got lots of little tie together spots that I'm having to weave in. I've woven it in on the front, but the inside is a mess. Let me flip it inside out. You can see it. You can see all the spots right there. I'm not bothering to weave these in because, first off, if I felt it, they might get blended in all by themselves. And the other is I'm going to put a lining in what, yeah, there it is. I've got some of this yarn. I've got some of this material. It's just tan colored. One side is smooth. The other side, it's like a microfiber. And the other side, like this side is suede. Well, it's a faux suede. It's meant to feel like suede. So I'm going to line the inside of the pocketbook with this. That way I don't have to worry about pencils or things poking through any of the holes. So, yeah, that's the project I've been majorly working on this week, but I'm almost done. Like I said, I'm just doing the bottom, and then I might do the shrinking if I decide to shrink it. And then I will sew the lining in, and the last thing I will do is attach the, these things, handles. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying handles, but anyway, yeah. So that is my 2 works in progress. So now it's time to take a look at what you all have been making this week. Now it's on to acquisitions. Oh boy, have I got acquisitions. If you saw yesterday, you saw that I ordered from Lion Brand earlier in the week, and it all came in. I was really surprised how quickly it arrived. So I'll just do a fast recap of what I bought and what I am using it for. First, I have 2 pounds of love This one is called Cornflower, and this one is called Honeybee. And these are going together to make a giant afghan. I think I'm going to make a plaid afghan. Yeah, I've seen the one that Krista has on the Secret Yarnery. I think hers is like pink and white and green, and I really like it. I think I'm going to do it with these two colors. I think it would look pretty. There is each of these pound of yarn, and they are literally a pound. They're 16 ounces. It's 932 meters or 1,020 yards. I could crochet a tent. So, yeah, so between the two, I'm going to have 1,000 or 2,040 yards. Am I nuts? Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a very big afghan. Maybe it'll be two afghans, matching afghans, his and her afghans. So we'll see. We'll see how far it goes. But yes, that's the first purchase. Then the second purchase, I have not one, but two more skeins of this. So I have, this is called Maize, I think. Let me double check. Yes, Maize. It's antique gold. It's the same yardage, and I have two of these, which I am going to hold double or quadruple. And I'm going to crochet some baskets to match in my living room as well, because my living room is yellow and blue, because I love yellow and blue together. I don't know why, but I just do. And even though this isn't yellow, this is gold. But yeah, this is going to be baskets, and I am going to use an idea that I saw and got from Yoka, who told me that when she made baskets, she actually crocheted around wire or a clothesline so that it made it a little bit more structured. Excellent idea. So it's not floppy. So yeah, so I have, like I said, two of these. So that's going to be baskets. And then I have two each of these, which are a recycled yarn. It's called Re-Up, and it is 114 yards each. So I have 228 yards of each of these. And they are 85% cotton, 15% polyester. And this is called Sunflower, and this is called Denim. And again, these are going obviously for my living room to make some small throw pillows. I already have some patterned throw pillows that are like a yellow, kind of this color, goldish yellow and blue. And they are like in a stripe, so I'm going to do some solid color little throw pillows to tuck around with them. So that was Lion Brand. Then Knit Crate came in, and Knit Crate this month, I have two skeins of tonal blue. And those colors are pretty true to color that you're seeing. They're like a sapphire. They go from a deep sapphire to a royal blue color. They're really, really pretty. They almost verge on purplish in some spots, but I really like them. They are a DK weight. They're 100% organic Pima cotton. There's 266 yards in, or 242 meters. You got two of them, and then they also included a Tunisian crochet hook. This is a 6mm or a J hook. And the patterns this month I really, really like. I actually am going to make all of them, I believe, at some point. The colors you could have gotten were this kind of pink, like a fuchsia type of pink, or the blue, or the gray. And the patterns, though, they gave us 5 patterns instead of 4. And the interesting thing, they have kind of the same style of knit and crochet shawl. They just wrote the patterns to work for knit or crochet. So here is the knitted version. It's called Sanctuary. And then the same designer did both of them. So when she did the crochet pattern, you can see it is very, very similar. And then they included, because I kept wondering what is the Tunisian crochet hook for, there is a downloadable pattern for this little shawlette right here. And then they also included a knit and a crochet sock. This is the crochet, and that's the knitted one. So you got, this one was loaded. You got 2 skeins of yarn, which you normally get. You got 5 patterns instead of 4, and you got a Tunisian crochet hook. And then last, but far from least, I got a free set of Knitter's Pride Carbons interchangeable knitting needles. These things are not cheap knitting needles. When I get to the come and get it section, I'll explain how I got these for free, because it was quite the surprise. But let me open these so you can see the quality of these knitting needles. And I am using them on the pocketbook, and I'm actually going to switch them over with the sweater too, because I really, really like the feel of them. They come in this box that is like a faux velvet, and then they open up. Look at that. They are gorgeous. They also come with 4 different lengths of cables. The needles themselves are a carbon fiber. Like here is a carbon fiber, so they almost feel like wood. They're not like cool like metal can get, but they are so nice, and they're like weighted. And then these ends here are brass and stainless steel. And then this is where the connector is. It screws into the cord. So I really, really like this set. They have such a nice feel to them. They feel almost weighted, not like heavy, but they just feel, you can feel quality in them. You know, I really, really like these. So it was a surprise, a pleasant one. Yeah, so when, like I said, we get to come and get it, I will explain how I got these. Which, speaking of, it is time for now in the come and get it section. Since I'm talking about the knitting needles, I will just start with them first. A few weeks ago, I talked about a new company. It's a sister company of Knit Crate called Yarn Rush. That it was going to be 30 to 50% off of name brand yarns. That's all I knew about it. So they contacted me because I'm an affiliate with Knit Crate. And they said, listen, you know, if you talk about her or whatever and people sign up, you get a certain number, you'll win a prize. I was like, okay, I like Knit Crate, and this sounds like a good deal. So I told you guys about it, and so all you had to do was put your email in. And they were going to draw a prize, I think, of $300 was going to be the big prize winner from anybody who signed up. Had a chance of winning $300 worth of yarn. I didn't win that. So anyway, but because of the number of you all that signed up for this, I won. I mean, I was expecting, like, you know, okay, maybe I'll get a little gift certificate or something. Okay, they sent me a $20 gift certificate towards yarn, which I've spent already. And then they told me that I qualified for a year's free membership. And then they said, oh, and by the way, you qualified to win a set of knitting needles. So I was expecting like 1 pair of knitting needles. And then they told me the value of it. And I was like, that's not 1 pair of knitting needles. And then I Googled what it was they were sending me. And I was like, oh, wow. So that's how I got that. So they will be definitely put to use. And I really, really like them. So now let me tell you a little bit about Yarn Rush. Okay. I did a little comparison shopping. Okay. What Yarn Rush is, you pay a monthly fee of $4.99. That gives you access to their special deals, which are 30 to 50% off of name brand yarns. So I looked, because I got the free membership, I thought, let's go do a little comparison shopping and see if it's really worth the deal, okay? here's what some of their prices are. Now, the yarns that they carry, they have Spin Right, which is your Lily Sugar and Cream and Bernat. I did not know that those two were connected to Spin Right. But anyway, they are apparently. They also carry Lion Brand. So that's the two that I saw right now. So I did some shopping. I did some shopping. I spent the $20 that they gave me for a gift certificate, and I spent a little bit more than that. But they show you what the actual price is, and then they show you what the discounted rate is. Now, I didn't just take their word for it. I actually went over and Googled that type of yarn over on the actual website, like for Lion Brand or for Bernat, things like that, to see what the real price is, to make sure that it really was, they weren't just jacking the price up and then putting it on sale, because I've seen that happen. But they didn't. Okay, Lily Sugar and Cream normally in a store is about $2.59 to $2.99. I found that price range. They are selling it, and they have it in tons of colors. They're selling it for $2.09. Okay, Lion Brand Mandala. That's some of the stuff I bought. Normally is $7.99, and that's over on the Lion Brand website, and like through Walmart, Joann's, stuff like that. It's $7.99. They are selling it for $5.59, and they had quite a few to choose from. Lion Brand Hometown USA brand normally sells for $5.29, and I did check that, as like I said, I checked all the regular prices to make sure that they actually were about right. They're selling it for $3.70. Homespun, which is this. This is my next crochet project, by the way. I have 10 skeins of this, and this is going to be a pullover. If you know some good crochet patterns for pullovers, please let me know. Okay, their homespun, normally it sells for $7.49 a skein. They are selling it for $5.24. And Bernat Super Value yarn normally sells for $5.99. They are selling it for $4.19. So they do have a definite discount on the yarns. I think a lot of it would depend if you're going to buy every month, because otherwise you're just throwing $5 away every month unless you're planning on buying. So it depends on what kind of shopping you do. If you do a lot of charity knitting and stuff like that, then it might pay off for you. So it's one of those, you kind of have to weigh whether you're going to use it enough to make it worth the whether the discount's going to make it worth paying $5 a month for. So that's the scoop on Yarn Rush. So I have it free for a year, so I will give it a shot and see what I think. But I already did buy some of it. I bought some, when it comes in, I'll do a review, but I actually bought some of the mandala. And I thought something else. I forget the other thing, but I did buy some mandala. My idea is the Knit Crate patterns. I'm going to make the yarn that Knit Crate came with, I'm going to make the Tunisian shawlette with. But the mandala yarn that I'm getting, I'm going to do the other two shawls with. So that is Yarn Rush. The Dollar Tree still has their premier brands on sale. You do need to buy 6 skeins, but they have Just Cotton and Just Yarn, and they also have Premier Home. Now the Premier Home, which is like your dishcloth, it's like dishcloth type of yarn. That one you only have to buy 3 of. So yes, that's Dollar Tree. Leisure Arts has, since we're talking shawls, and apparently I love shawls anyway, but since I talked about them all with Knit Crate, I thought let's see what some other people have out there. So Leisure Arts, they actually have an entire book called Tunisian Shawls. It's $9.99, and there are 8 patterns in the book. Then in their knitted section, they have knitted prayer shawls. I've shown another prayer shawl book before that I actually have that they carry that's very good, but this is a different one. It's called Knitted Prayer Shawls, and it is $9.95. And then they have a pretty one. I couldn't figure out I could not find how many patterns are in the book, but it's called Exquisite Crocheted Shawls, and it's $8.95. Now over in Annie's Craft Store, I just went in their search window and typed in knitted shawls. I honestly couldn't pick one because I saw so many that I thought were really pretty that I was going like, ooh, I like that. I like this. I like that. I like this. And then I did the same thing with crocheted shawls. And again, I saw a lot of really lacy, pretty things that I liked. I could not pick one. So, yeah, if you go over to Annie's Craft Store and just click or type in the search window knitted shawls or crocheted shawls, there's a ton of them out there, and they're all, I didn't see any that I didn't like. You know, that's scary. I don't need that many, but there was lots of them there. Then I looked over at Knit Picks since I got some new knitting needles. And I was looking to see if Knit Picks does sell knitting needles and crochet hooks. Okay. They don't sell the brand that I got, but they do sell some other brands that are out there that are decent and good quality. They do sell Knitter's Pride knitting needles, which are what mine are, but they don't sell the carbons. At least I couldn't find them anywhere. So that is Knit Picks. Like I said, they do have needles and hooks. Now Create for Less does have clover circular needles and clover interchangeable needles, which I do have a set of those. They are a cheaper set. To buy the part, they're selling the parts individually, and if you buy the parts individually, it can be a little pricey, but the good thing is you're only paying for the size needles that you can actually use. They do sell it as a kit, but I think it's like $150, which to me for bamboo needles, I mean, they're nice needles, but I wouldn't pay $150 for them. To be honest, I wouldn't pay $150 for a set of knitting needles, but if I was going to pay $150 for a set of knitting needles, I would be getting some of the higher quality brands that are out there than the Clover bamboo set that's there. But that being said, they do sell some regular crochet hooks too, and they do sell the Clover hooks, which I do like the Clover hooks with the rubber handles, but I don't care for Clover knitting needles. I mean, they're okay, but they're like the low end of knitting needles. So, yeah, anyway, but they're there if you're interested over in Create for Less. So that is it for our Come and Get It section this week. Now this Wednesday's video, I told you that I did buy some yarn from Yarn Rush. So I will be doing a review. I mean, the yarn I bought is from Lion Brand, so I know it's going to be good. But as far as the customer service so far has been excellent, and we'll see how fast it ships. They did tell me it would be here in about 3 days, which really surprised me because I don't need it that fast. But yes, it's supposed to be here in 3 days, so it should be here for Wednesday. So Wednesday's video will be an unboxing of my first order from Yarn Rush Yarns. Yarn Rush Yarn Company, I guess, or just Yarn Rush. Whatever it is, that's what I'll be doing a review of. So that's it for this week. Thanks again for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please click that little red subscribe button down below. And if you click the little icon next to it, you will get notified anytime I post a video, which is Saturday, Wednesdays, and whenever there's a really good sale that we just can't pass up. So thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.